These packages contain heroin, cocaine, and crystal meth that's being handed out on the streets of Vancouver for free.
From this tent over here, we are distributing a safe supply of drugs. The points of drugs you will get from the boxes being distributed from that tent have been tested. This means that you are at no risk of overdosing on fentanyl, and we want this model to be legislated so that it can happen all over the place so our friends and family stop dying.
I'm in Vancouver, Canada, which is home to some of the most progressive drug policies in the world. And it's also in the midst of a deadly opioid overdose crisis. In 2016, the British Columbia government declared the overdose crisis here a public health emergency. Since then, more than 7,000 people have died of drug overdoses, with the majority of deaths involving fentanyl, a synthetic opioid that's up to 100 times more potent than morphine. Many of the deaths are concentrated in this neighborhood, the downtown east side, which is one of the poorest areas in Canada. I'm going to meet up with the founder of the Drug User Liberation Front, a local activist group that keeps breaking the law to hand out free tested drugs because they believe it will save lives. I'm Manisha Krishnan, and this is Free Drugs.
This is 3.6 grams of ketamine, 3.5 grams of cocaine from the brick, 3.5 grams of cocaine washed with acetone. This is 3.1 grams of crystal meth, 3.7 grams of actual heroin, and then Xanax bars.
Eris Nix is a co-founder of Dulf, the Drug User Liberation Front, a coalition of activists that has been giving out free tested drugs in the downtown east side to demonstrate the concept of safe supply. She's ordered about $2,000 worth of drugs from the dark web that she's planning to give away after it's been tested for purity.
These drugs will be broken up into like quarter grams and then given away for free to people. And I'm like, a quarter of a gram of drugs is zilch. It's like one hit for some people, you know? But at least I know with that one hit, they're not gonna die of a fentanyl overdose. And they're gonna know what they're getting, and they're gonna know how they're dosing themselves with the drugs, which is totally different than street drugs.
Fentanyl is a synthetic opioid that's up to 100 times more powerful than morphine. Used medically as a painkiller, counterfeit versions of fentanyl began causing dramatic spikes in overdose deaths in the US and Canada around 2015, and it's gotten increasingly worse since then. In British Columbia, overdose deaths jumped by 74% in 2020, the worst year ever. The US had a record 93,000 fatal overdoses in 2020, more than 2/3 of which involved opioids. In some jurisdictions, fentanyl has completely replaced heroin and has reduced life expectancies. Since last year, Dulf has hosted numerous drug giveaways, handing out crystal meth, cocaine, heroin, and opium in the downtown east side. Technically, it's considered drug trafficking and is punishable by jail time. Dulf wants the government to allow compassion clubs, a model that would allow community members to supply each other with clean drugs without worrying about being arrested.
Hello, family. Smash that like button, smash that subscription button, and also hit that notification button so you're notified when we post new content. Let's talk about welcome to Vancouver, Canada. Now, I'm interested in hearing, I want you to comment in the comment section and tell me what you think about if this is a good idea or not, actually supplying the drug addicts on the street with good drugs. I mean, I know we have an epidemic and a lot of people dying. But do we want, if one of our loved ones are out there on the streets and are hooked on meth or heroin or cocaine, do we want the government or other people supplying them with the drug, even though the drug is a good drug? I mean, I understand the concept of making sure they have, the drugs don't have fentanyl, because that's a terrible drug. Fentanyl is a terrible drug. But is this the answer? Comment in the comment section and tell me what you think. Do you think this is a good idea for Dulf and the government of Canada? Because Canada has some very progressive drug laws as it is. But do you think that's going in the right direction with them handing out drugs on the streets? I think that's going to make a lot more zombies. So I don't know if that's the way to get control of all these deaths from fentanyl. But comment in the comment section. I'm interested in hearing what you think about what should be done and if this is a good approach. And again, hit that subscription button to help me build my subscriber base. And I'll catch you on the next.